welcome to March Art Night. My name is Mary Bell and I'm the Deputy Director here at Kentuck. We are opening our second show of our exhibition season, From the Earth, which focuses on all natural materials and artwork made from those. So this month and next month we're featuring Basketry. And we have Robert Haygens, Sarah Bell, and Holley with us tonight, and they're going to share a little bit about their work. So I'm going to pass it off to them.
All right. Thank you everybody for coming out. It's a beautiful exhibit. A lot of great basket makers. But I've been making baskets for about 35 years, so most of mine's right over there. I've used white oak, reed, poplar bark, hickory bark, river cane, ash. So I use a lot of variety of it. And everything that I make, the first basket I make begin with a trip in the woods. Just like Will and Sarah, they got to come through the woods to get their materials. And that's the way it is. So, you got any questions? Just fire away. No. Tell you everything I need to know. If not, Sarah will. Floor is yours. Yes, ma'am.
How long does it take you to make this?
Which one? This one? This was made out of bamboo, so just to split that was about 1 to 2 hours, and to weave it into the basket was about another 3 hours. So total, I got about 12, 15 hours of that one. And this one up here is, I made some inner bark of the hickory, and I braided through that and wove it up in there and braided the handle of it. So that was a couple hours too. The big basket that you see, the river cane wall mat, that's in the other building, I've got 99 hours in that one. 51 hours though was material prep and 48 hours of actual weaving.
You're smart, you actually timed yourself.
Well, I did it so long, I said I never really recorded hours, so I wanted to on this one. I probably wish I hadn't.
Perfect. Sarah, do you want to tell us a little bit about your work?
Yeah, sure. Hi everybody, my name's Sarah. These are my baskets right here. I also, I like to use a lot of invasive plants. So like this is Mimosa and those egg-style baskets are Kudzu. And there's a lot of things I feel like I could say about baskets and why I love to make them and how I started, but I guess I'll just say when I was making these egg style baskets, which are sort of a more classic Appalachian style of rib basketry, and those are made out of kudzu that I harvested in some like abandoned public land in Jefferson County, where I always get stopped by the police asking me what I'm doing there harvesting. But I just thought they're very like an expression of me as someone who is biracial, white. My father's, ancestors are from Scotland and England, which is sort of where like Appalachian style basketry descended from, and then kudzu is native to Asia, and I'm half Chinese, so I don't know, I just thought it was sort of symbolic of an expression of myself and how I got here and why I sort of am making these. So that's what I wanted to say about that, but I could go on and on about that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can somebody learn from you how to basket weave soon?
Yes, actually, funny you mentioned that. In April, I have a basket making workshop here at Kentuck, and you can learn. And I teach a lot of basket making workshops, and can ask me all about that.
Do you have to let the kudzu dry before you can work with it, or can you work with those still green?
Often, you let it dry. If you work with it when it's green and you try to weave, when it dries, it shrinks. And so your basket is just not it's loose, and I feel like the hallmark of a well-made basket, when you feel it, is it feels really tightly woven and strong. So you do let it dry. Yeah.
Is mimosa also an Asian plant that was brought here?
Yeah, I think
think so.
so. Probably both. Oh, is it from Africa? Okay.
Okay.
But maybe
But it is
from
considered
landscaping.
invasive, basically,
Yeah.
because it spreads like wildfire.
Yeah. It's like one of those pioneer plants that, like, when a area is trying to reforest itself, it often grows.
Yeah.
It does fix nitrogen, so, like,
Okay.
you know, it has its benefits.
Well, I've heard that
Um,
the blossoms can be used as a tonic, like
Yeah.
a nerve tonic.
yeah,
I've never tried it, but I've heard that.
yeah, it's like a happy tonic. Yeah, it is good. I actually take it. Yeah.
The jelly's good.
Make jelly out of it.
Mhm.
My wife made some jelly out of it this past summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
Out of-
spring
out of
is
pink flowers.
yeah, and you see it like on roadsides
Yeah.
a lot. And spring is slipping season, so that's often when you harvest bark, and you can harvest bark from
And the
Lots of
bark
different
comes
trees.
off easily from the mimosa. It
yeah.
peels pretty easily.
Yeah, and other trees too, like poplar.
Uh-huh.
I think you ever popped that one. Is that poplar?
Yeah, they pop out those three on.
Well,
So I have a tendency to be long-winded, so I'm gonna have to watch myself here. My work is over there in the far corner. I work with maybe the scarcest material here. It's giant river cane. So it is a native species of bamboo. So for context, there's over 100 species of bamboo here in Alabama now. All but that one have been imported. So most of the river cane now has either been it's either been grazed down or it's been plowed up. So we kind of have to go deep into the swamps and get out on the river to actually find this stuff. So I'm using the outer skin of the river cane, so I'm breaking the cane down and peeling it twice, and shaving it down to get it pliable to where I can weave with it. I am a tribal citizen of the Cherokee tribe of Northeast Alabama, so I'm actually practicing this as my way of supporting my community. I'm also a tribal lawyer, and I've figured out over the years that lawyers are not very inspiring. So, I went to law school, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna help my community, I'm gonna be this great legal warrior, and it got nowhere. So I've really made more of an impact as a basket maker than I've made as a lawyer. So I use traditional dyes in my work. I try to do it as traditionally as I possibly can. The dyes over there you see are from black walnut root. We also make an orange dye out of bloodroot, which is just now coming into season. It's kind of scarce in this part of Alabama, but it's very plentiful in the mountains. And my Cherokee friends in Oklahoma also make a yellow color out of the Osage orange tree. I weave in the Cherokee tradition, obviously. There's 5 kind of main cultural groups in Alabama, many more tribes within those groups, and all of these tribes have a river cane basket making tradition. The Cherokees are unique in that our baskets are made entirely out of river cane. My rims are white oak, and we use hickory bark to tie the rims on, and that has a little history itself, which I'm not going to go into in depth. The Cherokee people originally are Iroquoian people from the Northeast, where they make traditionally baskets out of wood, and they learned that wood rims are very sturdy, so they incorporated that into the river cane tradition that they picked up from the tribes that they met down here. I'm going to open it up to questions, because I could go on about this for hours.
Are the symbolism in the baskets traditional, or are these your own designs?
So these are They're based on traditional designs that I've seen elsewhere. The snake pattern is actually comes from a tribe in Louisiana, the Chitimacha. That is their customary pattern, but in the last 100 years, Cherokee and Choctaw weavers have picked that up and started incorporating it into their baskets. The diamond pattern is seen a lot in Choctaw basketry. It's kind of shared amongst the tribes in the southeast. The arrowheads pattern, the triangular pattern in that middle basket, that's another Chitimacha or Cherokee adaptation of the Chitimacha design.
What do you feel like your contribution to your community has been through basket weaving? Is it through passing the tradition on, or?
Well, it's difficult to find people who are willing to do this. They see how much work goes into it, and it scares people, I think. It's really been the imagery of the baskets, me carrying the baskets around, that has gotten people more involved. And for the first time in a long time, people are donating money, and we're having a festival in August. That's a shameless plug for the River Cane Festival in Langston, Alabama, Labor Day weekend. So we're seeing a lot more engagement now, and people who are actually wanting to engage with the culture than we've seen in years.
So, an expert could distinguish what tribe a basket was made by the styles.
Yes,
The older baskets probably, maybe the new ones are kind of more unified, or
it is. As we kind of see a bottleneck in the tradition because the number of basket weavers is starting to dwindle. There's not a lot of younger generation people who are making traditional baskets, so we're learning from less, elders. So a lot of our baskets are look the same. Baskets from 1 or 2 generations ago, you can identify it by the family or even an individual maker, just
Oh,
by
wow.
certain stylistic aspects of the basket, the way they set up their base, the way they tie their rim on, or a particular design that they knew how to do that nobody else knew how to do. Cherokee baskets are pretty easy to pick out just because the rims are different. We also set up our bases different. Choctaws use even numbers, so they'll weave over 4, under 4, which makes their designs, they use a lot of diamonds, like I use over there. I use Cherokee basketry is a lot of 3s, 1s, 5s. So we do a star pattern, which I have over in the other gallery. But yeah, I wouldn't say it takes an expert, but somebody who's familiar with the traditions and has seen a lot of tribal baskets.
cool.
Any other questions for Will or Sarah or Robert? Okay, thank you guys so much for being here.